Here we go. World is your oyster, an ocean between with clouds. But I grew up with a fear of the water that scared me from my dreams. Why is everything so hard when I'm trying my hardest? When everyone gets lucky, I'm falling again. It's never been easy, but I find my way. If all I have is the courage to say, it takes some time and I'm on my way. Gonna get to where I belong. I rest the wind as it says the sounds. Just the waves that hold me back. There's no fate that the one that we drop on this map will light our way. I'm the captain and I will sail without a doubt. I won't stop till I reach my goal. No one can tell me that I can't be the hero of my own story. No one can steal what's only mine. So just you wait and see. It takes some time and I'm on my way. Gonna get to where I belong. I rest the wind as I say the sounds. Just the waves that hold me back. Mom once said that the world is your oyster, an ocean with fairy tales. But I grew up with a fear of the water that's kept me from my dreams. My dreams. 30 years ago, when I was a kid, I had a dream to become a famous football player. But now, I'm not this famous football player that I dreamed to be. Does any one of you saw me in any Champions Leagues or so playing football? Of course not. Something happened, made my dream evaporated along this way. Hello, my abundant dream. Are you visiting me in this beautiful moment on this pleasant day to accompany me in this unique event? Oh, I must admit that I have disappointed you and ignored you during all this time. But I know that it's never too late. And you always have been there supporting and guiding me. Hey, keep in mind that your dreams never leave you. They're always coming back in a new form that suits your readiness to work toward achieving them. Now, let's figure out, you and I, what went wrong? You know, there was a huge conflict between you, my supporter part, which is my instinct, and my saboteurs, my own beliefs. They will always remind me, my saboteurs, that football is not for girls. The fame and success is only for very few people, and I'm not one of them. Hi, everyone. This is Asmaa Hammouch, and I'm extremely grateful for your kind presence at Symposium 2.0. It's a fact that there are 3 different types of smiles. Well, I can see more than 3
in the audience. Either the science the back either science needs a reboot or there is something wrong in the audience. Well, just as you might be able to read, the title of my speech today is Embracing One's Instincts Opens Doors to Identifying Oneself. So let me just start and share with you my screen. So let's move down. It will be a pretty quick speech. It's just that I made sure that everyone today enjoy. So the most important question we should ask ourselves is, who are we? Well, in order to do so, you will need to answer these 4 questions. How did you know what you know so far, of course? When did you know what you know? Why did you know what you know? Does what you know serve you or work against you? These questions portray the 4 stages of our lives. The first question, how did you know what you know, is related to the first stage, which is early childhood. The second question, when did you know what you know, is related to the second stage, which is teenager. And the third question, why did you know what you know, is related to the third stage, which is the last 4th question, which is, does what you know serve you or work against you, is related to the 4th stage, which is the old age. In early childhood, in this stage of a human life, that answers our first question to identifying our instincts. Research has it that children learn from their initial interactions, which most of the time is with parents. Therefore, a gentle caress of the mother is enough to instill in a child an instinct of kindness. Hence, it's not hard for any one of us to understand how we get our instincts of serving others and feeling happy about it. Teenager is what I feel the best stage. When we get to answer our most concern, example, when did you know what you know? While surfing through the internet, like any of us, to kill time, I came across a post about teenagers that read, I'm a smart person, I just do stupid things. For a moment, it seems a nearly simple line, which I'm sure most of us would ignore. Well, I would have too done so if someone would not have knocked and brought in tea. While I took a sip, I realized teenagers are actually not stupid at all. Teenage is the time when a human develops cognitive powers through experiments. Such experiments always make teenagers seem stupid, but actually, it's a learning procedure one is going through. Eventually, a human being in his or her teenager gets to learn the true purpose of life. After going through many struggles, be it social, financial, or political. Youth is a stage which most of us now as the prime time of our lives. The youth today are chained to several responsibilities as they are no longer depend on anyone for food, clothes, or shelter. One eats, wears, and lives in what he has earned. So it's really important that one seeks the shelter of the true happiness. Let's be very clear that living in an expensive house, driving fancy cars, and wearing the most branded clothes could be a source of happiness, but it's short-lived. I intend to talk about a long-lasting happiness, which is none other than the one achieved internally. Therefore, the only intent to identify ourselves early in life is to immediately work towards achieving internal happiness through, for instance, being a helping hand to someone in need or the destitute through communal service. Identifying one's instinct entitles one to a happy retirement. Indeed, if one knew his or her true purpose in life and acted accordingly, it will always serve him or her. The question is, how? If trees receive the right nourishment, they will eventually bear fruits. Therefore, if you have been helpful to others, affectionate to children, and peaceful in time of financial, political, and social chaos, you are ready for a happy retirement. You have helped someone, your favors will eventually be returned. You have been affectionate to your children, they will treat you as you have taught them. You have been peaceful in chaotic situations, you will have nothing to regret. The existence of a human being is very much like that of a grain of rice. Their beginnings and ends are very much similar. Let's talk about the manner beginning. A human life starts from a pretty embryo formed when a sperm meets an egg. An embryo itself is weak and powerless and susceptible to damage or injury. This explains why some women undergo complications during pregnancy followed by severe pain. A mother, while being pregnancy, is always advised to take care of herself and avoid any serious course. If she's careless, she might, in some cases, have to undergo abortion because the embryo dies within. However, when an embryo grows, he or she possesses the power to even move mountains. In similar sense, a rice seed immediately after being sown into soil is weak and vulnerable to climate. If the seeds are not sown properly, they might never grow